Hey everybody, welcome to this new lesson. Today we're going to be working with the Sketch&Toon module. Yeah, so before we start, I wanted to show you how to activate this module and what it's used for and the basic parameters. It's going to be like a short introduction, so I won't be explaining everything. We have to go along explaining and touching on different parameters to be able to create different effects, okay? Alright, to activate this module, we're going to go to this tab here. And in effect, we're going to activate Sketch&Toon. Alright. This will automatically give us this effect. Alright. If you look at the image, you can see that we've gone from like a traditional 3D application made image that we've made. Alright. So you can see here that we can see like a typical 3D image. If we activate the Sketch&Toon box though, we're going to get a cartoon effect, okay? So the edges look as if they're drawn in. Everything does, okay? And the color and the shades look like they were done in a vector program, all right? Like Illustrator. All right, so once we've activated this box here, we're also going to get this material here. And from this material is where we're going to be able to modify the lines, okay? Like the thickness. Or maybe we can play with different things. So we can decide where an angle starts. You know, it can be your angle or your devil. Different adjustments. The color of the lines is also modifiable. We could make it blue, for example. Abadi abadai. Alright. So yeah, this is obviously going to give us a whole range of options as artists. We'll be able to create our images and make them we'll just be able to make them super cool. Then if we go to main, we can load up our styles that have been pre-designed. Like these different lines here. A line like this one. You'll see the effect we get from that. Okay. So here, obviously, if we touch up these parameters, we'll be able to soften that effect. See? So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the module. I insist. Here you'll have to spend some time just playing with everything, getting used to what each parameter does. For example, here the thickness, how the line starts, it gets thicker and it gets thinner. These are the angle variations. Okay, the opacity too. Alright. Okay, so now we've seen this, let's get started with the Sketch&Toon, my boys. Let's put that visor on. Standard visor. And we're going to go to the Render tab. Alright, we're going to hit Effects. Sketch&Toon. Alright, can you see that? What it's done is mark the outside lines of the image. Alright. If we go to Material and we mark these options here, in thickness, we can put in 1. And we're going to be able to see that that line is going to be much thinner, okay? Alright. So this type here, as we can see, we said this before, that we would have difficulties. Maybe it would be better to choose another type. Maybe that just adjusts just a tiny bit better to what we're making here, okay? We made a new material and we're going to start putting in all of the materials and to mark all of the polygons so that we can create those materials. How are you going to do this, you might be asking? Well, do I have a story for you? We're going to mark, for example, the machine. You know, the whole machine. And we want to mark these polygons here. No, that part. The selection part of the polygons. We only want the visible ones. And we're going to select the sides. That's going to be all in one color. We're going to grab the material. And we're going to apply just the white one, okay? Alrighty then. Alright, let's make an inverted selection so we can select everything we didn't have selected. Okay, so we could start coloring these areas here with the squares, okay? So let's create a new material. We're going to put in a different color. For example, this one here, like this. And we're going to add it to the selection. So we're going to paint the whole part, okay? All right, let's make a loop selection. And we're going to paint the squares. Well, first we're going to select them. We're going to create a new material for this part. We're going to duplicate this one here. And we're going to give it a little bit more of a yellowish color, okay? Like a gold color. And we'll apply it. Okay, so now we could start to paint the buttons, the sign, this part here on the floor. We're going to give it that yellowish color as well that we're just using. Let's just select them. And here on the base, the button's base, we could also color it in another color because it's going to be like, that panel, all right? So let's paint, and we're going to get a different color. More of like a white or a gray, like a bluey gray kind of color. And we can apply it to the panel here, okay? Let's see how this looks. Okay. All right, so let's mark some other details that we can paint. In this case, we could, let's see this panel up here. We could give it different colors, like these three here. So we're going to paint it as if it was like a circus, okay? We're going to choose those colors that are going to be striking. The image itself is going to be striking as well. So we're going to choose complementary colors, like an orange on these three here. Okay. Let's go on better to the wooden part here, and then we'll choose the colors to go inside. So let's do this one here, more of a wooden tone. Let's duplicate this. We'll make this lighter around here, and now we'll apply it. And now these ones here, in this color, and these ones here, let's give them another color. Like maybe this blue here, for example. And we'll place it. Okay, so this edge here is still kind of bare. So we'll make a loop selection and we'll put it in. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's duplicate it. Let's apply that yellow tone for the stars. And we can just continue onwards. So the button, another color, maybe blue. Now the other two buttons. Maybe it would be better to use like a white for the other two so that they could be more compensated, and not too colorful. Okay. What else? We need to do the sign. So here we'll put in a white and we'll use an inverted selection so that we can put in a black color in the frame of the sign. Okay. All right, let's take advantage of the colors we have. Here's that black. We'll make it slightly lighter for the lever and the ball. Well, this color is good. All right, so here it's kind of up to you guys. You can use whatever colors you want. The colors are going to change quite a bit with Photoshop anyway, so just go along testing them all out. All right, let's put the text in once and for all. And another type, maybe, probably, definitely. Maybe like this, or maybe we can make it bigger. And this one around here. All right, we're going to turn it a little bit. And we can put in like a golden color. And this other one could go just in black, okay, for example. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to add in textures to these materials, okay? Okay, so before that, we're going to grab these bits here that are hidden, as you can see. And look a little bad because of the one in the middle. It doesn't look great, as you can see. The back there. Yeah, let's move this one. All right, like that. Okay, so now that's better. There are like two backgrounds overlapping there. This one here as well, we're going to put it in another color, maybe like a grayish color. Around here, and these ones here. This one here. All right, cool. Okay, let's see. It's all taking shape now. We still need to do the coins though. And we could also like change the color we've used for the flaw. Let's grab one of the coins. Okay, is this here that you can see in the coins? We're going to change that because it's an instance, okay? So we're going to put this into a subdividing object so that the plane has more subdivides. All right, so we can see that this here, well, we can make this bigger, okay? So that the sign stands out a bit more, okay? Let's get it closer to the machine so that like, the walls of the machine. And that gold, we're going to make it bigger too. And here too. Yeah. And here too. All right. So we've grabbed this coin. We've duplicated it because we're going to paste it as if it were one of the stars, okay? So we'll put it around here. Okay. All right, it's good around here. Make it a little bit bigger, and we're going to move it up on the base here of the sign, okay? Okay. Around here would be good. Alright. This is happening because the coin is outside of the null object. We have to put it inside. So this way it won't move. It's going to stay inside the animation of the entire null. Alright? Okay, so to solve this issue, we're just going to have to go to the emitter tag and take away the render instances. This way, as you can see, we won't be able to see that line that we could see in one of the coins, okay? So, we're going to take this plane here. We're going to take out some of the subdivision, okay? And we're going to mark this part here to make an interior extrusion. You know, because we're going to put in other colors. One in here, for example, in black. And another loop selection. Alright, actually, it's going to be better if we cut it with this here. Okay? And here, we're going to cut it as well. And there we have it. We're going to select loop selection. The edge, we're going to make it like this. Now. I'm not sure if I like this, though, you know? Okay, so now we have the textures. In the cylinders, I'm going to tell you how to do it, okay? Let's go to UV edit, this interface, mark this, and we're going to make a new texture, okay? We're going to get this option. Let's make a new layer here, okay? And in this tab here, we're going to select this. Okay, so remember to have all this selected and have this box here selected and off. And so we select and we're going to select all the polygons faces. So we're going to go to this tag here and let's see the predictions it's going to give us, okay? So sphere, flat. Normally we're going to be working with like the cubic shapes, like this one here, for example, or this other one here. So we're going to go to this other window and we're going to hit apply. And we can see that we're placing the shape that we wanted, more or less, with the prediction of the textures. So we can hit here, apply, apply, and let's see which is the one that's going to fit better to what we're looking for. So this one here, for example, it looks like it's pretty good with this one. We can even grab just this bit here. Okay, and we're just going to be working on the parts that we want. So let's see. So we're going to grab the move tool, the scale, and we can scale all the parts of the textures. Now we're going to take this to Photoshop so we can apply the textures properly. All right. Let's take this button here to fill the layers. As you can see, we filled it with the color. This is to show how it would look with the textures. But let's do this better with all the polygons. So we're going to grab this button, and now we're going to grab the fill polygon button, and let's go to File. I'm going to save the texture. Let's save it on the desktop. Textures, okay. Okay, so here we have the texture I prepared. So we're going to look for the image, okay? Here it is, and we're going to open it. So these parts here, we're just going to select them one by one, the ones that are going to be the part that's going to go in each area, okay, like to decide that. So we're going to duplicate it. I'm going to take it to our document, and here we're basically going to paste the texture wherever you want it to go, okay? So it go here in these rectangles here, okay? Okay, so as you can see, if you want to make sure of this, you just have to grab the selection, okay? And you have to mark in the interface what parts, see? Which parts are the ones you're going to put in the textures, okay? So in this case, it's going to be this part. This is where it's going to place it. So knowing this one would go here, okay? See? And this here, and this would move around here. We could do this by hand. So we can place this by hand, but for this exercise, we're going to be doing it like this, okay? We're going to see it's all pretty well positioned. That's 7, the number we care about. We just have to adjust the image a little bit. And we can place it. And we're going to do the same thing with the other processes, okay? We're going to grab this, and we're going to scale it, okay? All right, we're going to rotate it. And we're going to place it around here. Careful, we don't want to see the white parts. That's going to make them show up in the 3D image, and we don't want that, okay? All right, so there's 3. The other one could be the same. For example, we could put it in here. Okay, now the white parts as well, we're going to put in something, and that's going to be enough for what we want to do, okay? So this one here, even though they're 3, there's going to be like a 7 that we're going to be able to see, but as they're turning, we won't really be able to see it, so it's okay. It's fine. If we look in Photoshop, as I've said, there's a 7 left over, but right now, it's for what we're working on. It's fine, and it's good if we can see it. So let's grab the cherries, okay, and we're going to place them here. I insist later, as the cylinders are going to be spinning at some speed, we're not really going to be able to see it. But if we were going to do this right, we'd have to keep this in the right order, okay? The other white parts, we're going to paint them straight up, okay? No problems. So each part can be painted gray, and we can lose them, each layer. So now we're going to save the image, okay? And in Cinema 4D, we're going to load up the image we have, okay? We're going to grab this texture, and let's look for our image. Why the heck isn't it loading? Let's try again. Okay, now we have it. Now we're going to apply this to the cylinders. So just so we don't make a mess as we've made frames in the old animation, I've taken away the other cylinders, so we're going to do this the same. The texture is going to spin. We're going to spin the cylinder like this. Okay. I've gotten rid of the other 2 because as there were other frames placed there, they were just going crazy. So let's do that again. All right, like this, more or less, in the position that we want it to be. We can see that it doesn't come out of the back. We're going to adjust this a little bit better. We can see that we have the center, the axis. It looks like a little askew, right? Let's try like this. This looks a bit better. Let's try. We're going to be moving through the different views to see how it looks. Okay, so yeah. It's a little askew, but oh well. we're gonna be seeing this from the side anyway, so you're not really gonna be able to see this. All right, so a little bit here. All right, let's duplicate this, and we're gonna move this here. And we're gonna leave it like it was before, more or less. Okay. And the other one's gonna go to the left. And we're going to rotate it. Okay, more or less. This is good. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at how this looks. All right, so there's Lukey here that we spelt wrong. We're going to put it in yellow because it looks better, and in black. I'm just not super into it in black, okay? So we have to put the cylinders into the null because this is what happens. They move independently because the cylinders aren't in the null. So I'm going to grab the cylinders. This one and this one, they're the ones that are outside, and we're going to put them in the null. And now we have it. Okay. So now we have to make sure that they turn around. We have to do that what we did before because we had to eliminate that part. So here, more or less, in this frame, we're going to make it so that the cylinder, well, the cylinders can spin. So we're going to mark this in a keyframe. We're going to go to coordinates. And from here, more or less, we're going to spin them. Okay, like this. All right, we're going to move it a little. Okay, let's see how it looks. All right, so we can change the background. Before, I forgot to tell you guys that we created a physical sky. And here we can touch on parameters like the sun, for example, and the date. We can also change the time. We can put in, for example, so that it's earlier. And here in the Sketch&Toon module, if we go here to shading, in color, we can change the color of the background. In this case, we're going to put in this color. Okay. And this, we can apply it to a background with the color that we've put in. All right, so we can see that the light here covers the area below. The shadow. This is because we have to go along playing with the lights. The sky. We can eliminate it, for example. Let's put in a light, an area light. We can move it to around here. We're going to go to light properties. And here we're going to put in an area shadow in this window. We're going to mark sphere. We're going to place it around. Well, let's place it in a point that's going to be elevated or that we can properly illuminate the machine with. Okay, now we can see that this shadow, it's like more defined, harder. So if you're not super into it, let's just go to light, and here in the shadow window, we can put in a shadow map. like a soft shadow, okay? So we're going to go along trying with the different shadows. This one is a bit too hard. It's a solar shadow. We can also grab an area light and lower the density to 74 in this case. And we can see that it looks better in the shadows. All right. We're going to play a little bit with the materials, okay? We're going to open up the materials tab. Let's go to color, texture, gradient. We'll go in, we're going to select the type of gradient, and we're going to mark the same color in a gradient format to give that material a little better look, okay? Let's mark another point. Darker. And the last one too. We're going to make it darker. Lighter, sorry. All right, let's see. If we put in some turbulence, let's see what effect we get. Let's see. We can see that we get these little blobs that I don't really like. Let's take away the turbulence, just put it at 0. And then this is the seed, the angle. Okay, we're going to see it with this angle, see how it looks. This is entirely up to you. You can modify different options. We're going to get the material looking different, all right? Okay, so let's go to the options we have here in Sketch&Toon. We're going to put the width lower. We're going to play with some other textures. We're going to do the same. Here in Sketch&Toon, there are different parameters, different options, okay? So in this one here, as you can see, we've gotten like a kind of gradient in parts that's going to aid you in your work. We're going to put in a new material. All right, if we mark the shadow, well, we're also going to get more colors in the shadows and more details in them. In this case, we're going to see how it looks. We've marked the shadow and diffuse. And here, as always, so that gradient is more of a gradient. Let's see how this part looks now. Okay. We're going to go along applying different materials, okay? We're going to do the same, creating new materials with different gradients. When I'm further on with the model, we're going to continue with the final image and how we're going to get the lines on our image and how this is going to affect the lines and shadows on the materials and stuff. Okay, so I'm back. We're finished. These are the colors. We're going to go to this tab here. We're going to hit preview. And we're going to hit OK. This is going to take some time, so let's leave this here. And when you have your preview, you can see your image is going to look like. We do this so that we don't have to get a final video. We get preview so we can see, we can preview it, okay? This is how it looks. The machine moves with its colors. And yeah, if we like how it looks, we like the format, we can clip it to make it more like a squared shape. Okay? If you think the lines are too fat, you can change them. Okay? Everybody has to do what they want. Alright, let's export this. We're going to go to anti-aliasing and to best. options. Let's see. Okay. If we want anything else, we don't. Let's save the image on our desktop. So we're going to make a new file, okay? So we're going to save the image sequences, okay? So let's open and save, okay? Let's give it a name. All right. We have to make sure that the frames are all there from 0 to the last one, 72. Perfect. Make sure it's at 72. And here in size, we can see the default one, which is fine. Okay, that's it. We're going to put the camera where we want it to be. Oh, there isn't a camera, so let's just put one in now. So interface. So the camera isn't really necessary. And we're going to make it smaller because as it's going to be a GIF, we don't need it to be too big. There we go. Let's hit the button, and now we're going to start loading in our images. So it's like a sequence of images from frame 0 to the last one, okay? So yeah, let's let this load, and when all the sequences are loaded, I'll show you how it looks. All right, here we are, and here's what it looks like. All the images sequences are loaded from frame 0 to the last one. So we're going to finish today's lesson, and in the next class, I'm going to show you how to make a GIF. All right, see you guys then. Bye.